Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 378, season 16. Today's date is November 2nd, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about a restaurant that was sort of an institution on the South Side. It was called David's Restaurant. I'll talk about its brief history, and I have a menu. And I posted that menu yesterday on my Facebook page, Van Chicagoland, and I'll read off the items. This will be a lot of fun. Also, I'll do a tribute to actress Teri Garr. She passed away last week. And I'll talk about my memories of watching her on television and movies. And she was wonderful. Very funny, very pretty. So sad. Okay. Right now, we're going to go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by MJB Coffee. And it stars none other than Teri Garr. And she did a commercial in the early 1970s. I think about 71, 72. So sit back and relax. And I'll be right back with the show, folks. Thank you.
Look, when it comes to coffee, I don't take any chances. I use MJB. Now, heaven knows, some of my friends don't really know the difference. I mean, to them, coffee is just something to drink. But I like coffee. I mean, I really get disappointed if it doesn't taste good. So I have to use MJB. Because somehow it always tastes good when it should. And I'm not the greatest cook in the world.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for MJB Coffee. And that was Teri Garr in that commercial. Let me give you a history about this coffee. It was founded in 1899 in San Francisco. The person, his name was Max Joseph Brandenstein. Okay, and he was a son of a tobacco wholesaler. His father's name was Joseph Brandenstein, and they began roasting coffee in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then, they got into business and all that. And then then they started packaging this this coffee, and then it just went on the market. And here's the interesting part. When Teri Garr did the commercial, the tagline was "Tastes good when it should." So it's probably heard on that commercial. And so Steven Spielberg, who directed Close Encounters of the Third Kind, he cast Teri Garr in the movie, and that's how he found her. So that's great. So as the years went on, it was acquired by Nestle in 1985. The San Francisco headquarters was closed in 1997. And 2 years later, it was acquired by Sara Lee. And then acquired Hills Brothers and Chase and Sanborn, if you remember those. And then there was another company was called Massimo Sonetti Beverage Group. And and they not only purchased Chase and Sanborn, but they also Hills Brothers and Chock full of Nuts. That's another old brand that's originally, excuse me, from New York. And they bought it from Sara Lee in 2005. So it's still around. I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's still around. I don't remember trying it. Not really. No. That's okay. If I see it on the store, I'll buy it. I'll let you know someday. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about David's Restaurant, which was located in the Bridgeport neighborhood of Chicago. And I have a menu, and I'll read off that. And also I'll do my tribute to actress Teri Garr. Before I get started, I posted about my health. Everything looked good on when I went to the doctor. I got my results and like that. As for the PSA, I haven't got the results yet, but I did, but I don't want to say anything because there's something wrong. So I don't want to upset people or me because I don't know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to wait till Monday. When I see the oncologist, I will ask her, what is going on with this? So we're going to wait and see. I don't want to go any further because I've been kind of upset because, well, I could tell you that it went up, but so we'll see what happens. We'll see what he says. I didn't post anything because I'm not absolutely sure. What I am sure, when I talk to him, he'll probably tell me it's possible maybe get another PET scan or take another blood test. I don't know. So we'll see about that. All right. That's enough of that stuff. All right. We're going to talk about David's Restaurant. David's Restaurant was located at 3100 South Halsted Street in the Bridgeport neighborhood of Chicago. It was on the corner. It was founded in 1910, but it was like a ice cream shop and they sold peanuts. Not then later on it expanded and it became a big restaurant like that. It was owned by the Maniatis family. I don't remember their names. I'm sorry, I do. Yeah, it was owned by, I think, David Maniatis and his wife, Daisy. I think that's what their names were. And then after they passed on, then their sons took over. I think they had other kids. They were Peter and John, and they took over the business, and they expanded it and made it a full-fledged restaurant. And it was famous for their ice cream, their taffy apples up front, and they were huge and delicious, and they looked great. Also, they had stuffed animals in the windows, according to some people. So, and they made homemade candies right there in house, and you could buy a box of candy, any kind you like, and they had the desserts in a cinderella, what's that called, a twirl around. I wish I'd seen that. That's kind of cool. And they had a room called the Walnut Room. I think that's what it was called, and it was in the back, not the one in Marshall Fields or like that. So they had that. So it was a very busy place. It was on the corner, of course. If you took the bus, you took the 8 Halsted Street bus or the 31st Street bus. I don't know if it's still running. No, it comes back and forth like that. But it was right near Comiskey Park. Right now it's Guaranteed Field, and people used to travel after the ball game and went over there to get a bite to eat, which was great, like that. So it was very popular. And then they opened another restaurant next door for the what's it called? The Governor's Table. I think that's called. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I find it, I'll correct myself. And so anyway, I never knew about this place as growing up. I sort of heard about it when I was little, like that. And okay. It was the Walnut Room. That was the main dining room there, and it was decorated with like harlequins, something like that, something colorful. And let's see. So let's see what I was going to say. Yeah. So they had their famous ice cream. I think they had an ice cream called Goliath. I could be wrong. And so let's see what else. Let me take a quick look. Yeah. So it was called the Governor's Table next door. And they had, it was a restaurant too. They served like steaks and all that. And then you rented a room for wedding receptions, baptisms, or meetings or stuff like that. But I'll focus on David's. like that. I'll talk about Governor's Table another time. Anyway, so then when I went to Correas Elementary School, there was a girl, Charmaine, that was her father. Her father owned that place, and along with her uncle. And she was there for a few years, and then she moved out, and I haven't seen her since. She's on Facebook. I talk to her occasionally. But I talked to her mother, and she was married to one of the owners. Very sweet lady, and I believe she was a waitress there. I don't know, probably. So that's probably where I heard that her father owned David's, and then I heard the name circle around like that. And let's see. So the restaurant was in business for a long time, and then I think 1991, or earlier than that, it caught fire. Yeah, it burned down for some reason. I don't know what happened. I don't know. So they never rebuilt it. So the men just got out. You may call it suspicious, maybe. I don't know. So then the family moved to Phoenix, which I believe they did that. Anyway, so then it was an empty lot. They tore it down, what was remaining. I don't know if the Governor's Table caught fire, maybe. So I don't know what's there. I heard it was empty. Yeah, it was an empty lot, or there was a drugstore or a police station or something like that, or Walgreens. I got to look at the map. I didn't have a chance to look at the Google map to see what's presently there. So people loved the restaurant. Some people worked there. And it was, and according to sources, Mayor Daley, the first Mayor Daley, dined there all the time because he lived nearby, in Bridgeport. I'm sure his son Richard did, and the family, they went there. So he probably loved this place. Probably did. So that's great, and that's wonderful. All right, so right now I'm going to read the menu. I'm going to read the menu right now and tell you what they served. Okay, here we go. Okay, so they had beef burgers, cheeseburgers, like that. They had steak burger, roast beef sandwiches, triple decker sandwiches. One was called the Bridgeport. It's a thick slice of baked ham, Swiss cheese, lettuce, tomato slice, and mayonnaise dressing. Served on toast. That sounds good. It really does. Then they had barbecue beef and pork, if you like, or kosher corned beef, frank and cheese. So it had a jumbo Frankfurt, a hot dog, with a blanket of cheese and a strip of bacon, and you broil it. Oh, that sounds good. Served with coleslaw, french fries. Hot roast beef or pork chop sandwich. Salads, they had New Orleans salad. That's with shrimp, with mixed green, tomato wedge. Sounds pretty good. With a hard-boiled egg. Chef salad, we all know what a chef salad is. It's a crisp salad with juliennes of ham, chicken, with tomato wedges, any dressing you'd like. California fruit plate, that's probably for diet conscious people like that. So it's creamy cottage cheese, orange sherbet, surrounded with clean peaches or Bartlett pears and some Clore prunes. Oh, wow. And topped with a sliced Hawaiian pineapple. Sounds pretty. Sounds good. Also, they had the dietetic fruit plate. A mound of cottage cheese or French or with sherbet and any salad or fruit, and served with rye crisp crackers, or rye crisp or the crackers if you want that. Okay, there we go. It's called salads for the discriminating. Okay. Next, they had. Well, I can't read this very well. So, okay. They had Sunday dinner, like roast turkey, roast sirloin beef, fresh broiled red snapper, roast loin of pork, shish kebab. Oh, that's Greek food is like that. Their choices of beverages: coffee, tea, milk, iced tea, Coca-Cola, pudding, Jello, ice cream, sherbet, or cake. That's the desserts. Let's see, they had soups, tomatoes, or like shrimp cocktail. They also had soup du jour, soup of the day, shrimp cocktail, fresh fruit cocktail. They had shish kebab, which I mentioned before. Steaks they had, I mentioned that too. David's special steak. It's a strip steak topped with blue cheese. Then they had a sirloin strip steak, a jumbo sirloin strip steak, which was huge, like that. Sirloin butt steak, filet mignon, 2 center cut pork chops, and chopped sirloin steak. Very nice. Okay, next one. Let's see what we got here. They had breakfast, like that. Waffles, pecan waffle, Eskimo waffle, Alaskan waffle, deluxe waffle. I want to see about Alaskan waffle. It's topped with, I can't read it. Ice cream on top, like an Eskimo pie. They had, let's see what else. So you had pancakes, of course, any breakfast you want, side order bacon, hash browns. Then they had sandwiches, of course. I mentioned that. So, roast beef, roast pork, ham, chicken salad, salmon salad. Oh, okay. Beef burgers, Swiss cheese, cheese on those for extra, ham salad, cheeseburger. They also had their milkshakes. One was called extra rich malted milk. That was served with whipped cream, any flavor you want. Extra rich milkshake that's not malted. Okay, they had a California thick malt or shake, and that's extra thick with fresh strawberries and sliced bananas. Okay, and they had a super rich egg malt or shake, any flavor made with an egg, served with whipped cream. Okay, that's good. And let's see what else they got. Here we go. Eggs, of course, they served that. Any eggs you want. The special was two fresh eggs fried, scrambled, or basted in creamy butter. Sounds fattening. Served with crisp bacon, pork sausages, or grilled Virginia ham. They also had poached, boiled, or a cheddar cheese omelet. Also, side dishes. I mentioned that, but I'm going to read them again. They had a cup of soup or bowl, whatever soup they had available that day, French fried potatoes, baked Idaho potatoes, a tossed salad, whatever dressing you want, cream, cottage cheese, and French fried onion rings. Oh, good. And last, they had the beverages, of course, Coca-Cola, root beer, phosphates, all flavors, lemonade, fruit juice, milk, buttermilk, hot chocolate with milk, brisk tea per pot if you want a cup, pot of tea, coffee, and Boston coffee. I don't know what Boston coffee is. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. And let's see what else they got. Oh, more desserts. Here we go. And I mentioned this. It's from the fountain. They had like a sundaes. They had the Boston sodas topped with whipped cream. It was ice cream soda. They topped with chocolate, pineapple, strawberry, root beer, cherry, orange, banana, lemon, and lime, and vanilla. Then they had the deluxe sundaes. This is the big ones. Strawberry, chocolate, pineapple, marshmallow, butterscotch, and cherry. They had that. Fountain Delights, they had the Banana Supreme, the Three Graces. It's a super sundae with 3 generous dips of chocolate covered with marshmallows, butterscotch. Ooh, that sounds fattening. Sounds good. Black Bottom sundae, double scoop of chocolate covered with smooth, marshmallows with whipped cream and pecans. Also, hot fudge sundae. They also had a fresh strawberry sundae or soda, Georgia peach sundae, with peaches. A fresh fruit salad sundae, double dip of ice cream, fresh cut fruit salad, and you get the idea. And of course, they had old-fashioned banana splits, and any flavors you want: chocolate, strawberry, marshmallow, strawberry, fruit salad, pineapple, cherry, hot fudge. And if you want just a regular plain ice cream, there's a dish of plain ice cream, whatever flavor you want. Okay, that sounds great. All right, I got that down. All right, right now I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about Teri Garr very briefly. Okay, so sit back and relax, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the menu from David's restaurant. It was kind of exhausting. It was fun to do that. And so I'm back from my break. Right now, we're going to talk about actress Teri Garr. Excuse me. So she passed away, let's see, October 29th. That was last week. And she was born in L.A., December 11, 1944, and her real name was Teri Garr, and she was, she had show business in her blood, and her parents were in the business, and she began her career as a teenager, small roles in TV and early film, and she appeared in a lot of Elvis movies. As a dancer. I think if you watch the Elvis movies and, when he's singing or he's somewhere when there's dancing there or, when there's music, you probably spot her there. She's probably there. So her first breakthrough appearance was Star Trek in 1968. I remember that episode. Also, I remember on Batman, she was in the Mr. Freeze episode, the first one. She came out of a roller rink, not a roller rink, ice rink. And Mr. Freeze, suck up all the ice. And she ran out of there. And so I recognized her immediately. I think she started another episode. I think she did. I don't know. I'll check. And she started in other movies like Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation, One from the Heart. She was in Young Frankenstein. I love that movie. And she was great in that. Oh, wonderful. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Martin Scorsese's After Hours. She was also in Oh God, The Black Stallion, Mr. Mom, Let Her Ride, Dumb and Dumber. Excuse me. But, one of her famous times she appeared on TV was either with Johnny Carson or David Letterman on the late night talk shows, but it's usually with David Letterman. They had a great chemistry, and I loved that. And so that was great. She did that. And so let's see what else. Also, she appeared in the Andy Griffith Show. That did that. She appeared in the movie Head by the Monkees, written by Jack Nicholson. Oh boy. The Star Trek episode, she starred as Secretary Roberta Lincoln in Assignment Earth. I remember that. And that was like a pilot. And they didn't pick it up like that. So, the movie that stood out the most was Tootsie. And she played a friend of Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman played Tootsie. He dressed up as a woman. He got a job as Dorothy Michaels, the soap. And he fooled everybody, including her. There was the scene where he revealed himself, and Teri Garr screamed and yelled, and it was hilarious. And she got nominated for an Academy Award, which was great. It was wonderful. The list goes on and on. She appeared in a lot of television and all that, and then she retired in 2011. She had, let's see, then she got multiple sclerosis, which is sad, and she continued acting. She really did, and so that's good. She did. I think I saw her in an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and she put on a little weight, but it was her. And she was funny. She was hilarious. I loved her like that. You know, she was so bubbly and, very easygoing, and very likable. Yeah, she was like that. So, I think, she appeared in a TV series of her own. I think it was called Good and Evil. I remember that. That was like in the early 90s. She was great in that, but it didn't last very long. So that's too bad. Like that. So, it was Tootsie that sort of catapulted, how do you say that word? To stardom. I mean, real stardom like that. And then she appeared on David Letterman, and they had their repertoire. They were talking like that, and they did some silly stuff. I remember watching them late at night when I was at DeVry Institute of Technology. I was going to college, and I, took a break from studying and then watched them, talk to each other. That sort of eased the stress like that. So that's good. Yeah. So my condolences to her family. Oh, that's so sad. That's very sad. Okay. Well, that's it for this program. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about David's Restaurant, which was located at 3100 South Halsted Street in the Bridgeport neighborhood of Chicago. And I read a menu off of that place, that is. Also, I did my tribute to actress Teri Garr. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast. Just tap on the apps, tap following. You'll get the latest episode. You'll receive a notification. You can listen to previous episodes. I've always said this. Also, it'll be on my blog, vanchicagoland.blog. Okay, and you can click on the link. It'll take you right there. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel. Again and again, people still ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? You can find it on YouTube. Type in Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, or my name, Pete Castanas. Click subscribe. You'll receive a notification for the latest episode. You can listen to previous episodes as you like. And then it'll be shared on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok, and Instagram. Okay, so that's it. I will probably do another episode tomorrow. We'll see. I have to think about what I'm going to talk about. I think I have an idea. Okay, so this is Pete Castanas, your host for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. It's a nice day out. Kind of cool, but it's pretty. Yeah, Halloween is over. Oof. Looking forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So here's bye-bye for me. And here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone. Excuse me. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.